Today, in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you about the current topic every day. And today our topic is 2020, a challenging year for working women. But before I will go to the main topic, I would like to inform you all that India is celebrating National Consumer Rights Day today. In India, we observe National Consumer Rights Day on December 24th every year. All of us are consumers in some way or the other. In today's day and age, safeguarding consumers' rights have become an important aspect. On December 24th, 1986, Consumer Protection Act 1986 received the approval of the President of India and hence came into force Consumer Protection Act 1986. Consumer Protection Act 1986 ensures speedy and inexpensive settlements of consumer disputes. The 8 rights recognized under the Consumer Protection Act 1986 includes 6 rights of the consumers provided in the UN Charter. The rights given to consumers under Consumer Protection Act 1986 are right to protection, right of information, right of choice, right of hearing, right of redressal, and right of education. We wish everyone a very happy National Consumer Rights Day. Now coming to our main topic, that is 2020, a challenging year for working women. There is no force more powerful than a woman determined to rise. The perfect woman you see is a working woman, not an idler, not a fine lady, but one who uses her hands and her head and her heart for the good of others. Since the Industrial Revolution, women have increasingly participated in the workforce outside of the home in industrialized nations, with particularly large growth seen in the 20th century. Largely seen as a boon for industrial society, women in the workforce contribute to the higher national economic output as measured in GDP, as well as decreasing labor costs by increasing the labor supply in a society. Women's lack of access to higher education had effectively excluded them from the practice of well-paid and high-status occupations. Entry of women into the higher professions like law and medicine was delayed in most countries due to women being denied entry to universities and qualifications for degrees. For example, Cambridge University only fully validated degrees for women late in 1947, and even then only after much opposition and acrimonious debate. Women were largely limited to low-paid and poor status occupations for most of the 19th and 20th centuries, or earned less pay than men for doing the same work. However, through the 20th century, the labor market shifted. Office work that does not require heavy labor expended, and women increasingly acquired the higher education that led to better compensated longer-term careers rather than lower-skilled, shorter-term jobs. Lockdown measures and school closures affect girls and women differently across the world and may have long-term negative consequences. Working women have not faced this challenge before. Many across the world have quit their jobs to be at home with their children because schools are shut and childcare is not available. For millions who have managed work and home, the support system that enabled this balance has been pulled off. Women who work all along, from maids, cooks, and nannies to nurses, teachers, and lab technicians, from customer services and selling agents, counter clerks, and back office staff to managers, supervisors, and decision makers, all face risks to their jobs. Choosing between home and job is a tough one for most women. Working women have managed this tightrope walk by depending on several support systems: daycare for children, ready-to-eat meals, semi-processed food, easy to pick up grocery assistance in running the home with help for cleaning, cooking, laundry, and other household chores, tutors, coaches, and other support staff to help manage the children's studies, projects, sports, and extracurricular activities, and friendly support in the form of group games, play dates, outings, and sleepovers. All these ease the burden of running the home for a working mother. None of these now exist in the present pandemic world. So there was a lots of challenges which were faced by the working women in 2020. And to discuss this, we have a very learned elite panel with us, uh, where we have 4 working women as well as one leading psychiatrist on our panel today. So I would like to invite my first guest, and he is Dr. Rajiv Anand. Dr. Rajiv Anand is the senior psychiatrist and marriage counselor. Dr. Rajiv Anand passed his MBBS in 1976 and did MD in psychiatry in 1980 from King George's Medical College, Lucknow. He opted to serve his country when it was very common to settle abroad for brighter future. He has been serving society with his base in Mumbai. He has clients all over India as well as in many other countries. He was honored with Lifetime Achievement Award by AMA. He has conducted more than 3,000 workshops for different groups and companies with audience size of 10 to 800. His television program on various channels have been widely appreciated for his forthright and practical approach. He is leading in the field of mental and emotional well-being for 40 years. He was president of IMA for 2 times. He was interviewed in several talk shows in domestic as well as internationally. Welcome, Dr. Rajiv Anand, on our show. Dr. Rajiv Anand, you are a leading psychiatrist and you are dealing with almost everyone in the society. And especially, you are also dealing with the working women. So you know better mental status of a working woman, because the challenges which the working women has faced in this year, not the last year, because still we are 5-6 days away from the new year, is tremendous, because they have to manage home, they have to work, manage their work also, whether it's working from home or going to, if they are the warriors, then they have to attend the duties in person. So we would like to know from you the 2020 challenges, a challenging year for working women. Dr. Rajiv Anand, please.
Yeah. Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Lal, for your kind words, and welcome to all the 4 panelists, PT Manuja, Neeta Tandon, Rashi Gupta, and Priyanka Kharbanda. And welcome to all the viewers across Kerala and Karnataka and UP and Bihar and other places through Global TV. In the beginning, let me say that I happen to be a psychiatrist. That is different part of my qualification, but I happen to be a human being more. And I try to understand human beings from their individual perspective, what they think, how they live, how they optimize their life, how they try, how they strive to give the best to the society. In that context, let me say the last 25, 30 years has been the best time ever in the recent history when women have come out of the closest of their 4 walls of the home. And they have surprised and they have shocked the whole world by virtue of their talent, their caliber, their intensity, and their capacity to work. This phenomenon has begun abroad little earlier, but in our country, in our society, we have been fortunate to see it almost 25, 30 years back onward. And this is a new and a great phenomenon. As Mr. Lal said a few minutes back, in contrast to the man who works either through the hand or through the head, women, they shine ahead They work through the hand, through the head, and through the heart. So they have more capacity at their disposal. Traditionally, society has taken them as खाना बनाओ, बच्चे हों, बच्चों को बड़ा करो, बच्चों को अच्छा स्टूडेंट, अच्छा सिविलियन बनाओ, and that was all. And their all capacities to handle other different responsibilities were lying dormant. And it's very painful for women that if they have the talent, today among us in the audience, we have one advocate, we have one senior teacher, we have another vice principal, and we have another lady who is MBA, who is working in a good company. Now, had they not been in these lines, they would have been just merely an housewife. Much of their talent would have been lying dormant and that would have been lost to the society. Last 2 decades, 2.5 decades has brought about this change and hats off to them. Till 2020 came and they realized that they were under greater pressure because of these exceptional skills or qualifications or talent. If it was not confined to 10 to 5 job or 10 to 6 job, demands on them were much more. Let me admit it, the we men, including me, were very poorly trained for the housekeeping or for the house management or for the kitchen management. We were not even interns till the beginning of 2020. Many of us know about the interns who are training, who come for basic training. We were not even interns, except making a cup of tea or occasional omelette. How many men did know anything any further? But this opportunity came that women got opportunity to let those who were not even qualified to be interns, let them become sincere, serious training and learn many skills which many of us did learn. I may not be as fortunate as my son is or other people are, but I'm sure that many people learn various aspects of house cleaning. And that was many women realized that had they shared this responsibility earlier, things would have been far easier. Because first 3 4 months went by, the confusion, the conflict, the clashes between the working woman and other members of the family. Because other members of the family have been living in comfort for years to be served a cup of tea ready, breakfast ready, lunch ready, dinner ready, wash clothes ready, iron clothes ready, everything ready. They had no idea how much time it takes, how much effort it takes, how much is needed to bring them to the table in a finished form. Now they realize it, how much time, how much efforts are required. Working women have never faced this kind of crisis earlier. To many people, it may appear that they were on practical working from home. They were almost on half leave. Far from it. I have been interacting with a good number of women across different boundaries of city or country, all over the world, all over the country. Working women has faced the biggest crisis because a child, if they have younger one, if they have a toddler, if they have a young child would see the mother close by. So naturally, the child are used to demanding closeness, demanding being taken in the lap, taken in the arms, being loved, being pampered. Child demand after seeing the mother would double up or triple up. And the bigger child at the home, who otherwise used to be 10 hours out of the home, but now he's at home, so he also regresses to become a child 3 4 times in a day, cup of tea or snacks or bhajia or pakodi or this kind of food or that kind of food. So naturally the demand on the mother or on the wife increased considerably. Very few people realized that she was a working woman. So most women who were working and confined to the home, working from home, they faced the toughest challenge because however qualified they may be, however educated they may be, on whichever position they may be in the bank or the financial institution or in the school or in the college or wheresoever, deep down they are essentially a woman. And let me say it upfront, having learned from great mothers, great women whom I have had opportunity to interact with closely, that they are essentially, as Mr. Lal has already said, they have largely heart which goes out to take care. They have genetic, psychological compulsion, and compulsion may not be the appropriate word. They have need to extend out, to reach out, to take care. They can't see the people who are close to them suffering, denied of the breakfast, or delayed for the lunch, or delayed for anything else. So they underwent many kind of guilt because they also have another quality most women have, inbuilt quality of loyalty, loyalty towards the family, towards the near and dear one, to take care of them, commitment towards them, and loyalty towards the organization where they are working for. So if they are in job and now they've been asked to work from the home, they have a great sense of loyalty which they can't compromise. They can't say to their employer or to the boss, okay, I would come back after 2 hours. They have to be on the duty. Now, this led to conflict between the job and the family. And most women are unconsciously, unadmittedly prone to having guilt. And many of them, they underwent guilt that we are not doing justice to either of the party or both the party, office as well as home. And that guilt drained them their vital emotional energy. So many women have undergone different kind of conflict that they are not being able to play their role as much as they were supposed to, either toward the office, which obviously if the office would not get the work required in the required time, in the stipulated time, on the stipulated quantity or quality, the office people will not spare anyone. But the family people also begin complaining about the delayed breakfast, delayed tea, delayed so on and so forth. So women have undergone great pressure, great strife and strain in the last few months. And I genuinely appreciate most women all over, especially four young women who are sitting over here. If they show their frustration, very often it is not taken well into their account. And different people have different ready comments about them. तुम शिकायत करती हो, तुम रोती हो, तुम बेवजह की बात का पतंगर बनाती हो, so on and so forth. That's why I said at the beginning, more than the scientist, I'm a human being. How many husbands, how many sons, how many children realize what enormous responsibility mother is playing? We all take them for granted. We all take it for lightly as long as we are provided, as long as we enjoy the privileges. We don't realize what makes to bring these privileges to us. Last 9 months has been learning experience not only for women, they have faced the challenges, much more for us to see closely how the house is run, to see very closely how women function, to see closely how their mind gets divided into different responsibilities. So I genuinely appreciate each one of them, wherever they are listening to this program, as well as four young women over here. I thank them from the bottom of my heart. They have done a great job. Be it my daughter, be it my daughter-in-law, be it my relatives or my friends. So I wish them all the best for the coming year. They are wiser, they are stronger, and thanks to them, they have made us also wiser and stronger and more practical to do things in a better way. Over to you, Mr. Lal.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Anand, for giving your view. And Dr. Rajiv Anand said that the last 35 years has seen the change in India. And the women were qualified and they started working. The atmosphere, working climate has changed, and the working women, number of working women increased drastically. But he says in this last year, the 2020, because of the COVID pandemic, the challenges, lots of challenges the working women faced. And the main challenge was to keep a harmony between household as well as the working work where the office works, because if she is working from home, which generally the working women were doing at during the lockdown, at that time, to keep a harmony, because if the child is small, a toddler, more demanding, and if if he is a teenager or grown up, he also demands, or she also demands that every time the mother will be serving them the snacks or the tea and coffee. And similarly, the office work, they also want the things to be done in a fixed time. And that is what a very, very challenging thing. And Dr. Rajivanan says, and this created a guilt among the working women, because they are neither keeping the office people happy because of the extra workload which they have to do at home, because the everyone is at home, and she cannot keep the everyone at home happy, because she has to also complete her assignments or the works given by the office. So there was a lots of dilemma, but still because the quality of the women is that they work from by hand, by head, as well as from heart. So they are having more devotion for work, whether it's a household work or for the office work. And that's why they have completed this time in a very, very comfortable way, in one way. And it's according to Dr. Rajivanan, he salutes all the working women, because this was a very, very challenging year which the working women has faced. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajivanan, for giving your views. Now, I would like to invite my next guest, and she is Miss Preeti Manucha. Miss Preeti is teaching in Army Public School at Ayodhya, Faizabad. She is MCom B.Ed. She is having experience of 24 years, out of which 19 years of service in Army Public School, that is at Faizabad, Ayodhya. In addition to her teaching professions, she is also a social activist and event organizer. She is a member of a school administrative management committee. She was awarded cash prizes and various certificates of merits, as well as certificate of excellence in teaching from HRD Minister Ms. Smriti Irani in the year 2016. She is also tech savvy and uses computer and other learning aids as a teaching method. She hosted and participated in various workshops for excellence in academics and discipline. She made great contribution in bringing laurels to her institution. Welcome, Ms. Preeti Manucha, on our show. Ms. Preeti, you have heard what Dr. Rajiv Anand has mentioned. Now, we would like to know the challenges faced by the working women in 2020. Ms. Preeti Manucha, please.
Thank you, sir. Good morning to one and all who are hearing me. I'm being given an opportunity to express my views on the topic 2020, a challenging year for working women. Yes, it is very true. I, working as a teacher, certainly faced challenges this year, starting from mid of March, which is continuing till date. In this era of pandemic, I want to say, firstly, the working women are an important constituent of financial position, financial soundness of the household. She gives a contribution to the family, which is highly affected in the present scenario, as number of cases of unemployment is increasing in this pandemic, as well as businesses who are still continuing do not have funds, as revenue being earned by the businesses are being lowered down. I must talk about many women who have to quit their job, as the schools are shut down and childcare is not available. Even support system is also unavailable in the present period of COVID. Women entrepreneurs who have small businesses are struggling, as most of the businesses have come to an end. Women entrepreneurs who are specialists, I may talk about, many women are running their boutiques, Many women are running their saloons, have to shut down their, as there is no demand of new clothes, as survival, people are struggling to survive in this pandemic. Extra expenses are to be curtailed, and even catering services are no longer demanded. I must also talk about event management enterprises have no orders these days. I mean to say, the focus on specialization, which were merits in good times, have made it an all or nothing bargain in this tough time. These problems has affected women's in different manner. All are suffering and facing challenge due to unemployment, lesser pay, etc. etc. Next, I want to discuss about the burden of unpaid and care and domestic work, which has exploded on the shoulders of working women, as discussed by Lal sir as well as Dr. Rajiv Anand. Unavailability of supporting staff is also a bigger problem. On an average, before this pandemic, women used to work for 4.5 hours to 5 hours for core services at home for unpaid work. But now she has to give 8 hours of work, and that too is insufficient as all the family members have increased. All the family members are there at home and the demands have increased. This includes parents, husband, children, and the services which she has to render includes giving care to parents, looking after health and hygiene, laundry, everyday meal, cleaning of household, education of children, etc. etc., which cannot be taken lightly. We cannot leave it aside and do only office work apart from household work is also to be taken care of. Ultimately, I want to say it is the responsibility of the women to stand on her toes and fulfill all work demand. When I talk about work demand, it means both office as well as household. Can you imagine if she is working woman maintaining balance between the two, office as well as household? One is paid and other is unpaid is a big challenge for her. Thus, women are facing tremendous challenge due to expanded duties at home as well as they are juggling with their career. I would like to take my example. Although I am in teaching profession since last 25 years, but classroom teaching with proper gadgets in school environment is totally different from online teaching. It seems to be very easy. People talk about work from home. क्या है? घर पर ही तो है. No need to go anywhere. It saves time. But reality is something else. Instead of 6 hours of work, office work, we are giving 10 to 12 hours of working per day, which also falls short. Along with this, there are also certain other associated aspects which needs to be enhanced. What are the areas where excellence is required, where enhancements has to take place are Very first, I must talk about professional development. Every working woman has to be tech savvy, and technological upgradation cannot be implemented in a day or two. Vast learning has to take place. It is a serious challenge for every working woman, as every working woman may not be technically educated. Secondly, I must talk about resources. For this online working at home, online working, various resources are required. For resources, finance is an important aspect. And in the tough time, financially, every working woman may not be sound to procure and make use of gadgets required. May it be laptops, Android phones, camera, headphones, broadband connections, etc. Again, fulfillment of job requirement is quite challenging in today's environment. Proper place or space of working has to be created. Means of creation of office environment at home is quite difficult. These days, people have shortage of space even. Whole families there at home. Everyone wants their own room, and middle class family has small houses or flats which do not suffice the need of every family member. Here also, women have to compromise and adjust the space, as in her list. Priority is parents, children, husbands, all are to be taken care of. Let me also talk about that this may lead to heightened stress and anxiety among the working women. Thus, for many working women, the pandemic is upending their work life balance and affecting their physical and mental health, which must be taken care of at the priority level so that heightened stress and anxiety due to pressure of expanded responsibilities and workload, both of office as well as household, is reduced and proper balance can be maintained between the two. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ms. Preeti, for giving your views. And Ms. Preeti said that this pandemic this year, because the pandemic started somewhere in mid-March, and this year is very, very challenging year for the working women because many job cuts, salaries have been reduced, as well as businesses suffered, especially when the working women or for the women entrepreneurs like boutiques or the catering business, they all suffered very badly. And that's the financial pressure on the working women. Secondly, those who are working during the pandemic from home, work from home, they were also suffering because earlier they were working for 6 hours. Now they have to work for 10, 12 hours. That is also not sufficient. More demanding because the entire family is at home. So the family's demands were more, as well as they have to do the online education because she is a teacher. She says that I am being a teacher, I have to do the online teaching, and online teaching is not a cup of tea. Yeah, it's a very tough thing because they were not trained, and no one is trained earlier for the use of the technology, and this cannot be done overnight. So it is a very tough thing to be done. Plus the hardware, the software required for the technology is not easy, means the financially, as well as many other challenges. And according to Miss Preeti, the main challenge is because of all these problems, the mental and physical health of a working woman suffered, which is it will take time, but that's why this year was not a good year for the working women according to Miss Preeti. Thank you very much, Miss Preeti, for giving your views. Now, I would like to invite my next guest, and she's Miss Neeta Tandon. Miss Neeta Tandon is teaching in Nirmala Convent Inter College, Lucknow. She's MA from Kanpur University. She did her nursery teachers training from Delhi. Welcome, Miss Neeta Tandon on our show. Miss Neeta Tandon, आपने डॉक्टर राजीवानंद को भी सुना और आपने मिस प्रीति को भी सुना, और दोनों ने अपने अपने व्यूज रखे हैं. आप भी टीचिंग करती हैं जैसे मिस प्रीति भी करती हैं, और आपने भी चैलेंजेस देखे होंगे, या आपको जो भी चैलेंजेस आपके टाइम में आए, तो हम जानना चाहेंगे आपसे कि 2020 वर्किंग विमेन के लिए, कामकाजी स्त्री के लिए कितना चुनौती भरा वर्ष था. मिस नीता टंडन, प्लीज अनम्यूट. Please unmute yourself.
Good morning, sir, and good morning to everyone, those who are joined this meeting. I am a teacher. मैंने एक नर्सरी क्लास पढ़ाती हूँ. पैंडेमिक के समय मैंने बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस फेस किए. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, सैलरी डिडक्शन, कि हमारी स्कूल में सैलरी डिडक्ट हो गई 30%. उसके अलावा वी हैव ओनली मोबाइल डाटा. हम मोबाइल डाटा से टीचिंग करते थे, तो उसमें नेटवर्क इशू बहुत आने लगा. पेरेंट्स कंप्लेन करने लगे कि टीचर की आवाज नहीं है, पिक्चर नहीं है. इस तरह से बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम आई. फिर हस्बैंड का भी जॉब सफर कर रहा था, क्योंकि वो मार्केटिंग जॉब में थे, तो मार्केट पूरा ही मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम जाना नहीं हो पाता था, क्लोज हो गया पूरा. उसके बाद बच्चों की भी स्कूल्स बंद हो गए, तो उनकी भी कोचिंग वगैरह बंद हो गई. उसमें भी प्रॉब्लम हमें काफी फेस करनी पड़ी. उसके अलावा स्कूल में बहुत सारे टीचर्स थे और 4th क्लास एम्प्लॉय थे. उन्होंने भी बहुत, जब सैलरी डिडक्शन हुआ तो उसमें हमने फाइनेंशियली प्रॉब्लम फेस करने लगे. ये सारी चीजें हमें बहुत प्रॉब्लम कर रही थी. उसी में ये जो सिचुएशन थी, इसको हैंडल करना हमारे लिए बहुत मुश्किल हुआ. घर में रहकर काम करना, मेंटली हम क्लास कर रहे हैं, ऑनलाइन क्लासेस हम बच्चों को दे रहे हैं, पर दिमाग लगा रहता था कि घर में बच्चों को भी अभी नाश्ता देना है, हस्बैंड को भी नाश्ता देना है, लंच भी प्रिपेयर करना था. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम स्कूल टाइम जो ऑनलाइन क्लासेस हमारे होते थे, वो मॉर्निंग 9 to 12 होते थे. सुबह 9 बजे से 12 बजे के बीच हमें ऑनलाइन क्लासेस डिफरेंट टाइम शेड्यूल्स पे हमको लेने पड़ते थे. उसके बाद दिमाग पढ़ाई में, बच्चों में, फिर पेरेंट्स की कंप्लेंट, स्कूल में प्रिंसिपल के कॉल्स कि अभी यहाँ क्लास नहीं हो रही, अभी ये प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, नेटवर्क इशू हो रहा है टीचर्स को. तो सैलरी ऑलरेडी डिडक्ट, अगर आपकी ये प्रॉब्लम सॉर्ट आउट नहीं हुई तो और डिडक्शन हो जाएगा, मे बी आपकी जॉब तक जा सकती थी. ये सारी चीजें फेस करने के बाद घर में फाइनेंशियली जब हस्बैंड की सैलरी ऑलमोस्ट बंद हो गई, तो पूरी जिम्मेदारी मेरे ऊपर आ गई, यानी कि लेडीज पर आ गई. 4th क्लास एम्प्लॉय में भी यही चीजें सफर की उन्होंने, कि उनको सैलरी 50% लेस करके दी जाने लगी. और जो हमने काम वाली रखी हुई थी क्लीनिंग, हाउस होल्ड क्लीनिंग के लिए, ये सारी चीजें भी हमारी पूरी तरह से बंद हो गई. हमें ये सारी चीजें खुद करनी पड़ी. वरना मॉर्निंग में 5 o'clock और 4 o'clock पे उठने के बाद भी, पूरा दिन वर्क करने के बाद भी ये लगता था कि अभी भी शायद दिन कम पड़ रहा है काम करने के लिए. तो किस तरह से इसको मैनेज किया जाए काम करने के लिए कि थोड़ा दिन बड़ा हो जाए. फिजिकली वी आर ऑन द ऑनलाइन टीचिंग, बट मेंटली इधर उधर हम डिस्टर्ब रहते थे. समटाइम्स हम लोग को स्कूल भी कभी कभी बुलाया जाता था इंडिविजुअली, क्लास वाइज, कि आके आपको यहाँ पर अटेंडेंस देनी है, कुछ वर्क है जो आपको कंप्यूटर में करने पड़ेंगे, बच्चों के लिए रिलेटेड है, रिपोर्ट कार्ड रेडी करना है, मार्क रजिस्टर रेडी करने हैं, क्वेश्चन पेपर पेन ड्राइव में हमें देने हैं, टेस्ट पेपर हमें पेन ड्राइव में देने हैं. ये सारी चीजें हमको सफर करनी. उसके बाद भी हमें स्कूल में डेटा वगैरह जो भी मिलते थे उसको हमें लाके घर में उसका काम करना पड़ता था, अटेंडेंस रजिस्टर मेंटेन करने पड़ते थे, ये सारी चीजें हमें ऑनलाइन ही करनी पड़ती थी। तो हमें टाइम को मैनेज करना, स्कूल को मैनेज करना, घर को मैनेज करना और साथ में बच्चों को मैनेज करना बहुत ही मुश्किल हो रहा था। उसके बाद बच्चों की कंप्लेन कि मम्मा नाश्ता कुछ नहीं बनाती, सिंपल ब्रेड दे देती है, हस्बैंड हाँ सिंपल पराठा सब्जी मिलता है। ये सारी कंप्लेन भी हमें फेस करनी पड़ती थी, क्योंकि जब सारे हाउस होल्ड हो गए, किचन हो गया, लॉन्ड्री हो गई, ये सारी चीजें मुझे ही मैनेज करनी पड़ती थी। घर से कहीं नहीं जाना, घर के अंदर ही हम बंद होके रह गए, ना कोई आउटिंग हो पाती थी, ना किसी से मिलने। जब सिंपल आप बात कर सकते तो फोन के थ्रू ही बात करिए, किसी से मिलना नहीं, वीडियो कॉलिंग कर लीजिए, दैट्स इट। उसके बाद लाइटिंग प्रॉब्लम, लाइट इतनी जाने लगी कि ऑनलाइन क्लासेस भी लेना मुश्किल हो गया, कि डबल खर्चे हो गए कि हमने ब्रॉडबैंड भी लिया और मोबाइल डाटा भी हमें लेना पड़ा, तो उधर डबल खर्चा हो गया हमारे लिए। इस तरह से हमने बहुत सारे पैंडेमिक में प्रॉब्लम फेस किए। पर धीमे धीमे जब सारी चीजें, सैलरी थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम जो देखते हुए सिस्टर ने, हम लोग ने सिस्टर से बात करी तो हम लोग की सैलरी भी थोड़ी डिडक्शन कम हुआ, 30 to 10% आ गए। इस तरह से जब पैंडेमिक लास्ट स्टेज में आने लगा, स्कूल थोड़े ओपन हुए। अभी तो 9th और 12th हमारे चल रहे हैं क्लासेस स्कूल में, वहां हम जाते हैं तो वहां पर क्लासेस देखनी पड़ती है। कभी कभी कुछ प्रोग्राम्स होते हैं जो हमें वहां स्कूल जाके करने हैं, फिर उसका होमवर्क भी घर में आके करना होता है, तो ये सारी चीजें सफर करनी पड़ी हम लोग को। थैंक यू डॉक्टर लाल।
थैंक यू वेरी मच। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद नीता टंडन जी आपका। एंड व्हाट मिस नीता टंडन सेड, that how the working women, and she was giving her own example. She says she is a nursery teacher, and in this teaching profession, during the pandemic, the salary was cut to up to 30%. Her husband's job, the salary was stopped, and everybody was at home. So it was very, very tough time to manage in the salary, one salary that is also a reduced salary. And and over and above, more and more demands from the children, from the husband, because they were all at home. Plus to manage the online classes, as well as to go, sometimes to go to the college, school, to attend the office works, etc., is not easy. And over and above, because they have to take the data for the mobile, they have to take a broadband, and even the electricity failure is very frequent in her state. So when there is no electricity, that's why it is very, very challenging time during the pandemic. And she said, because now after the when the pandemic severity has reduced, now the salary has been means now only the deduction is 10%, but still the problems are there because few classes have started, so they have to go to see that classes also. Then again they have to do the work from home, online teaching for the nursery students. So it is not easy, and according to her, it's a very, very challenging time for a working woman. Thank you very much, Ms. Neeta Tandon, for giving very, very frank views about the condition and the challenges faced by the working women in 2020. I'm sure, I hope that the 2021 will not be that bad, although it's very premature to say anything. Now, I would like to go and invite my next guest, and she is Miss Rashi Gupta. Miss Rashi Gupta is BA, LLB Honors, LLM. She is guest faculty of law at University of Delhi and Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Management and Research, Delhi. She is pursuing PhD in law. She is researching the rights of domestic workers in India, especially those who migrate and are then placed by placement agencies. She has also worked in various university grants commissions projects towards legal education. Welcome, Ms. Rashi Gupta, on our show. Ms. Rashi Gupta, you have heard Dr. Rajiv Anand, Ms. Preeti as well as Miss Neeta Tandon, and they have given their views. And out of these three, the two panelists, the working women, they were from the teaching profession. Although you are also in the teaching profession in one way, but you are also pursuing PhD in law. So many degrees. Very good. Congratulations to you.
Thank
Now
you.
my question to you is, with this year, 2020, when everybody faced the challenges, and especially those who were working in a private companies or private organization or entrepreneurs. Although you are working with the University of Delhi, so I don't think there should be any problem or the job or the salary cut from the university. But and you are doing the research on the rights of domestic workers, and that too all migrants. Now, domestic workers were totally that during the lockdown they have to be at home, and they also faced many problems and challenges. We have done a program,
Yes.
and in that the programs, which was very sad program, because the misery what they faced was really very pathetic. Now we would like to know from you the 2020, a challenging year for working women. Miss Rashi Gupta, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for all the kind words. And yes, definitely 2020. And it's still, I personally, if I speak for myself, I don't think that 2021 would be a respite for all of us, especially the working women. I think 2021 would also go the same way, and especially for the teaching stuff, because we don't see educational institutes opening soon enough. I also belong to the teaching fraternity, and I too can say that we really have faced a lot of challenges. I will not say that हमने कुछ ज़्यादा face किया बाकी women workforce से, ऐसा नहीं है. But हाँ, हमने बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसी face की जो teaching fraternity ने especially जो बाकी fraternities को नहीं करनी पड़ी. But for me, if I talk about my personal experience, starting definitely from the technological aspects, for sure. Like एकदम से in the हमारे दिल्ली में educational institutes जल्दी बंद हुए थे as compared to the nationwide lockdown. It was like almost 2 to 3 weeks before. So as suddenly we were informed that from tomorrow onwards the schools will be shut and you have to work online. I personally myself am not that tech savvy person, and in fact, I did not even know something what was Zoom or Google Meet or all these softwares. I didn't know anything about it, and from next day onwards, I was supposed to teach college students who were very much tech savvy, who were very much demanding, who for whom you had to be really prepared with your lectures because they are Google savvy people and they can Google anytime and put questions to you. So you had to be prepared for everything, and at the same time I had to take care of my 2.5, then now she's 3, but daughter. She started with her school, and uske 4 din school, she went to the school for 4 days, and 5th day it was lockdown for her as well. So for her, she had absolutely no idea of what teaching was, what learning was, what was ma'am, what was school. She didn't know anything. And I actually had to teach her. Had to sit her with her classes all the time and make her learn. And at the same time, those were the hours for my classes as well. This was one aspect of what I faced as a challenge in lockdown. This is a morning time. Now, me being a lady, obviously morning time meant household chores also. I had to जैसे बाकी esteemed panelists ने कहा, मुझे घर का भी सारा काम करना था, जिसमें of course everybody is at home with joint family. You have to take care of elders, you have to take care of husband, your child, your parents, in-laws, everybody. That also was going. I can definitely say that despite the fact that I really had very cooperative in-laws in that respect, but still, as Dr. Anand had said, I really agree to that point, that even if they bring me out in various ways, there was some way or the other, there was some guilt quotient in my mind, because I somehow felt that if I'm taking a class, I thought that no, my daughter is asking me to play with her, or my household work is calling me. But that was not possible, of course. As far as the working part was concerned, as our parents were not
I,
teach properly.
I think your net is giving problem, Miss Rashi Gupta, Advocate Rashi Gupta. Yeah. Now you are there.
I
Please
can
go.
hear you,
Yeah,
sir.
now you please go ahead.
It's fine.
You please
Oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
so sorry. I didn't realize that I had lost connection. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
please.
Okay, so I was saying that yes, sir. I was saying that
No, I think we have lost her. This is the problem. And when we are talking about the online education, how we can go ahead, just think of the uh, challenges, not only for the working women, even for the students. If they are in the class, like what we are listening, what is going to happen, what will be the future of the students of this year. Anyway, now I would like to go to the next guest until when she will be joining again, then we'll take her again. And I would like to invite Miss Priyanka Kharbanda on our show now. Miss Priyanka, are you there? Miss Priyanka, are you there?
I'm here. Yeah.
No, we can't see you. Please switch on your video, Miss Priyanka.
There's some internet connection. Just give me 1 minute. I'm
Okay,
connecting myself from the Wi-Fi.
I think Miss Priyanka is also having the same problem. Now one can imagine the condition what we are facing in India today. I think better. Yes, Miss Rashi Gupta, you are back. Can you hear us now? Miss Rashi Gupta, your net is no, it's
yes, sir.
still
Yes, sir. I can. Am I
okay.
audible as well?
You are audible, but you anyway you can go ahead. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I was talking about the challenges I was facing during lockdown. And despite having, I said that despite having very cooperative in laws, still there was somewhere or the other, there was guilt quotient because I could understand myself that I was either not doing justice to my family or I was not doing justice to my work. Sir, you were correct in saying that there were obviously no salary cuts from the university, but I was also working in a private institution, and there were, of course, if even if there was no salary cut, and in case we did not perform well, there is always there is always an issue that we might lose our job in case we do not perform well. So that was always there in our mind while full during the lockdown, and it is still there because right now also we are working from home along with other things. Apart from all this, somewhere down the line, yes, even the family members were demanding a lot in the sense that it was always expected from us to be with the family. How much time would a working woman require? This would always be a question that you are just towards your work and you are not at all interested in your household. These also were put to us sometimes, but yes, all said and done, we had to go through and sit through that time, and we somehow did, and we are still doing it. And I can say definitely for sure that 2020 was definitely a very, very, very tough year for all of us, especially the working women, because managing children, household, work, salaries, everything at the same time was really not easy for us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Advocate Rashi Gupta. And she says that although there was no salary cut from the Delhi University, but the challenge was the overnight they were told to teach online, and all the senior students, law students. And when she has to teach, she has to be prepared because it's not that easy to teach a good senior students because they are quite aware about they are tech savvy, they know about Google and everything. But what Advocate Gupta said, that because she is not that tech savvy, it was very, very challenging. And the second thing is the household work. After all, she says that although her family was quite cooperative, but still she has to work. And because she was having a very small child of 2.5 years, and her and her classes were also her. Correct, if I'm not mistaken, Advocate Gupta. She's your daughter, 2.5 years. No, we can't hear. Anyway, the small child and the classes of the child, and she
Yes.
has to. Okay, thank you. So she has to sit with her daughter also for the classes, and the same time, her teaching classes are also on, and at the same time she has to cook the breakfast. So it was a very, very challenging time, and there were no helps, no maids, or the home workers were there, and it is. So she said it's a very, very challenging time of the year 2020, and she says the way it is going on, she's not that hopeful that 2021 will also give any respite to this. Thank you very much, Advocate Rashi Gupta, for giving your views. Now I am going to my last guest, and she is Miss Priyanka Kharbanda. Miss Priyanka Kharbanda is the marketing manager of Jubilant Food Works Limited. I would like to explain for our benefit of our viewers, which the Jubilant Food Works Limited holds the master franchise for Domino's Pizza in India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh, and also for Dunkin's Donuts in India. She is a pharmacy graduate and MBA in marketing with certification in public health, nutrition, and IPR. Her endeavor is to continuously learn more while keeping a delicate balance between art and science. With 10 years of vast experience into marketing in the field of healthcare, natural and organic brands, she is passionate about launching brands and drive transformation for the brands. She is ambitious, self-driven, personality. Sorry, she is ambitious, self-driven personality who has developed a mature and responsible approach to any task or a situation. She loves reading, sketching, and traveling. Welcome, Ms. Priyanka Kharbanda on our show. Ms. Priyanka, you have heard earlier panelists, and earlier panelists, apart from Dr. Rajiv Anand, all were in the teaching faculty. You are the first who is having a different working experience. That is, you are in the marketing, and you are marketing. Why I have said that, why I explained about Jubilant Food Works, because that was not closed during even the lockdown. People were ordering food and pizzas at home, and it was definitely, it was a very, very tough thing for you to manage and to do, keeping everyone in a very hygiene condition, as well as see that they will also be safe. Although there were some news came about the pizzas thing initially when the pandemic started, but you are the right person to explain what challenges you have faced in 2020. So 2020, a challenging year for working women. Miss Priyanka Kharbanda, please.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Lal, for inviting me for the webinar over here. And a very good morning to everyone. As introduced by Mr. Lal, I'm a corporate professional who's engaged in, building brands and marketing for almost a decade now. Currently, of course, I mean, with Domino's and Dunkin' and specifically the restaurant business, it was way different, in terms of, in the lockdown period as well. So I'll just take you through my personal experience and how I, went through the entire 9 months of the time, and probably, would tell you that, if there was some brighter sides to it as well. So, as the lockdown started, our daily routines faced a paradigm shift. A home office is a very different environment as compared to its traditional counterpart. So, yes, the initial few weeks took some time to sink in, from being in a work mode in a family atmosphere, because, in office, it's a very different environment. There are big teams and everybody is in access physically, to creating a comfortable place of working at home, wherein you're surrounded by family members, taking video calls. Also, we are in touch with the top management, so the kind of interactions required, the kind of confidentiality is required in an organization is very different. So you'll have to be very, very, you'll have to have your own space, and while working, and no disturbances and everything is something which was a must. So, and also erratic work demand. So we work almost 24/7. There is no morning and evenings, and off work time and on work time. So the business demands such kind of inclusion. So also a lot of communication issues which comes with an online mode of working, because you can't really physically access to somebody. All the meetings with big teams, 20 to 25 people inside the office, or probably a pan India meeting wherein everybody from the region is joining you. There are hundreds of people. You'll have to listen to them, understand their queries and demands, and problems which are very new to the lockdown period, and the kind of customer issues they are facing and everything, and you have to resolve. So the mode changed all of a sudden, and it was quite difficult to initial few months to really sync it up, also having no house help at all to top it all up. So yeah, it was a juggle, so as to say. But gradually, as the new normal started settling in, we were able to see the brighter side also of the lockdown. If I give you a small example, just getting a proper sleep and not waking up in anxiety of reaching office can make a big difference to our mental health. you know uh, Turning endless coffee breaks. So example, in office, there is no this thing, you'll have 8 to 10 cups of coffee because you're under pressure all the time, you're under stress, under the lens, and you take up so much of caffeine. So to probably, if you can just cook simple meals at home and make time for workouts in between calls, can be really therapeutic. So it's all about personally investing yourself into taking care of your home and family while balancing work, is all we have craved forever, being a corporate person, because our works were always 24/7. So it was a bit of a respite that at least we don't have to spend 2 hours in a lifeless traffic. We can be at home. uh, we are already tech savvy. We always used to, we can do stuff online as well. Initial time, was difficult, but, slowly, steadily, the mantra, what I believe, is adaptation. So it's, at the end of the day, it is all about seeing either the glass half empty or half full. So I would say that, treat this as an opportunity and strategize for a better future. Shift your morning anxieties of reaching office into some insightful meditation sessions. Utilize time spent on lifeless traffic jams into probably picking up a hobby, or, cook fresh food rather than ordering in. Even if I'm from a restaurant business, I would say that because it's important, from the health perspective. And above all, spend the precious time with your loved ones, as for sure this time is never going to come back. So that's my mantra of handling the lockdown. Also a very important thing which Dr. Rajiv Anand mentioned about working women. I would say, if this shift of being flexible, to work from home and also to work from office becomes a new normal, it will be a blessing for working women. Because there are a lot of people, a lot of women specifically, who are not able to continue with their careers because of family commitments, as they can, they have to take care of their family, children, also work, not being able to present at home, all of that stuff. So they can always continue devoting time for work and family both, create a balance, of which we women, I'm sure, are a default masters of. So we can do endless multitaskings while maintaining a very delicate balance of life perfectly. So I think, if taken this into consideration, our lives can be really better. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Lal, for
Thank you very much, Ms. Priyanka, for giving your views. And she has given one very good advice. Please don't order for any packed food or anything from outside, although she is marketing manager of a Domino's Pizza. I'm sure tomorrow you are going to get some good pink mail from you.
Once in a while it is okay, but
Okay. Okay.
but yeah, I mean,
Fine.
I'm also a nutrition person, so I would always say to create a balance.
Okay, thank you. And Miss Priyanka, what she says, it was really initially very challenging because she has to handle, earlier she has to go in person, she has to handle the pupil because in the lockdown, everything was closed, but this food delivery from were on, and then she has to handle hundreds and hundreds of people virtually online. It is not that easy without any such type of experience, earlier experience, and the personal touch which she used to have while tackling with the staff or the employees were missing, but still they have managed. And she says definitely the demand from the home, because you are working from home. Once you are working from home, the atmosphere is different. You are not in the office atmosphere. So these all the whether lots of challenges, but she says the positive side is also there. Earlier she has to wake up early with full anxiety to rush to the office, wasting time in the traffic, as well as consuming 8-10 cups of coffee. So all these things were saved, and that's having enjoyment at home with a near and dear one. So that is a plus point. And her advice is that even after the pandemic, if work from home and in person can be make a clubbing the merge, and then it will be better instead of either work from home or work from office only. Thank you very much, Ms. Priyanka, for giving your views. Now, my question is to Dr. Rajiv Anand. Dr. Rajiv Anand, you have heard all everyone, and you have seen what is the condition today in India, especially for the working women. I am saying India purposely because every one of them mentioned that they have to do work at home, and the family were very much demanding, which is not the case in other countries where everyone share the work. The husband or the children, they all do the work of household whatsoever. So it was not a pressure on the working women abroad. But now my question to you is, we all are reading for last 2 days the new virus, the British virus. And now, yesterday evening, the report is that South African virus has also come. And if it is going to be there, and this is although the severity has not yet been established, and if it will be there, although we don't want it, but suppose it will be there, and the 2021, as one of the panelists says, that she is also not expecting that it will be better, then the working women who has suffered for last 9 months, and to extend more again and again, because now 2 states I know there's a night curfew in Maharashtra as well as in Karnataka, and the conditions are bit I will say it's not that easy. So when this is the situation, what you feel, how the working women are going to cope up? They have already suffered 9 months, which we have seen today. And if again they have to be in the lockdown and again they have to suffer, how their mental health is going to be affected? Dr. Rajiv Anand, please.
Yes, I hope I am audible.
Yes, please.
Okay. Back to you, Mr. Lal. You asked a very pertinent question about where do we go from here. 2020 is ending, 2021 is beginning. What have we learned and how we can apply our learning from here? First of all, let me compliment all the four ladies. It has been a learning experience. It is a heart touching hearing from each one of them out of their personal life from different fields, and half of them from teaching fields. I would look at it this way, that we all have been confined or ensconced in our comfort zone for long, and pandemic or lockdown has been a shaking up, waking up experience for each one of us with a hidden agenda from some powers somewhere higher up, whatever name we may call it. Had lockdown not been there, we would have continued being in the comfort zone. Last 9 months, we were woken up, shaken up to learn many new things, to value many things what we have. which we never valued adequately. And I would like to say it aloud whether the new virus from UK or another feared virus from South Africa may come or may not come. But then many more illnesses may come in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Many more new challenges may come. Last 9 months have been a kind of a vaccination for us, help us prepare to meet new challenges, help each one of us, be it in teaching job or medical profession, or Mr. Lal in his life, or Miss Priyanka. Each one of us have been helped to prepare ourselves for bigger challenges, larger difficulties. And what would help us? One thing which I have to say it aloud, as Mr. Lal mentioned about it, the teachers undergo that guilt kind of a thing. Let us accept our limitations. Let us be aware of our potentialities, and let us be contained whatever best we are doing. Let's not set a very high, unachievable target of being perfect. No, let's be total in whatever we are doing. Right now, I'm talking to everyone over here. So whatever best I can do, whatever best I can do, if I set a target, this is my perfection, then I would always be conscious about that I'm not able to do this, I'm not able to do that. Be it about frame or about my language or about pronunciation or about my face or about my hair, then I shall be doing less than what I am capable of doing it in this moment. First, let's do our best and not get swayed, not get disturbed by our imagined perfection. It is applicable to us and equally it's applicable to everyone around us, family members, husband, wife, other people in the society. Let's not be judgmental about them, what they are doing, what they are not doing it. Let them do their best. Let's do away with the word called perfection, which is more to be practiced within than to be spoken aloud. Point one. Point two, I would like to say, let us accept, appreciate, and admire the contribution of everyone in our life, our nearest and dearest one, loved ones, primarily, our family members, our elders, secondarily, the God which is invisible to us, whatever name we may call it, who is running this whole world, and the nature around us, which is the visible manifestation of that power called God. Let's connect to our deeper self. Let's connect to our near and dear ones and parents. Let's connect to nature and let's connect to God, invisible power, and then leave it and be happy. Do your best. Live every moment. Breathe every moment. Breathe life and breathe happiness into every moment. You shall be winner. Hell with new virus from UK or new virus from South Africa, anywhere. Many more may come. Many more would go away. Over to you, Mr. Lal.
Thank you very much. Many more will come, many more will go, says Dr. Rajiv Anand. Very positive note. Let's hope. Whatsoever you say, we must face whatsoever will come. Now, my question goes to my next panelist, and she is Miss Preeti. Miss Preeti, my question to you is, you have mentioned that the challenges were in the work from home, that one has to see household work, demanding husband, children, family members. Now, my question to you is it the fault of our society or our culture that we have not trained our men folks from the beginning to do the household work? Why all the responsibility lies with the girl or the women? Don't you think being a teacher, this is the fault of the teaching also in India? Why it was not taught from the very beginning that the boy or the girl, there is no difference? Sorry, some disturbance is coming.
Yes, sir.
So my question to you is,
Yes.
why it was not been trained from the very beginning by the family, and afterwards the responsibility of the teachers, because the teachers are there are three gurus, the parents, and the next gurus are the teachers. Why they have not trained that the all men folk all the person, boy or there is no difference between boy and girl. They should also work. If they were trained or they were taught, then this problem which you working women are facing would have reduced drastically. What you say about this, Miss Preeti?
Yes, sir, you are right. Teaching, traditional teaching, which took place 20, 30 years back, was in such a manner that gender discrimination was there. Gender discrimination, when we talk about men and women, men can do this, men cannot do this, men cannot do household works, but women are supposed to do all household work, this, that, whatever. But now the era has changed. Now we are teaching boys even how to manage their affairs, how to manage themselves, how to do laundry. If you are to go to hostel, how will you manage the things? So we are training them now, which was not the practically which was not being taken as a teaching curriculum in earlier days. So the era has changed, the scenario has changed. So at present, I must compliment my family, my husband. He was not knowing, but time has made him learn the things. If I am not able to give snacks or nashta or something to my children, he supports me and he does the work. I step out of the house at 7:30 morning. I'm back at 2:30, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So who is managing in between? It is the family members. It is the husband who is managing the affairs of the family. So I must not blame them. It is only the pandemic. As everyone is there, demand has increased. So it is just a phase which has come in this era, in this pandemic.
Okay.
As soon as this will go, the things will again improve and we will be back to work and proper. So I must only, I have few words to say. Every family member in society must be supportive enough and help in household and take care of working women and try to make her happy by small gifts, gestures, respecting her feelings, so that there is no guilt and no frustration, and she is able to with cope up with the stress and anxiety and proves her loyalty towards work as well as family.
Okay. So thank you very much, Ms. For giving such a good advice. I hope that people should follow your this word of advice. Now I would like to ask Miss Neeta Tandon. Are you there? आप हैं नीता जी? जब हाँ नीता जी, आपने बताया कि फाइनेंशियल टेंशन्स काफी आए और जिस वक्त ये प्रॉब्लम्स चल रही थी पेंडेमिक में, एक वर्किंग वीमेन को या हर वीमेन को एक मी टाइम चाहिए होता है कि अपना समय चाहिए कि जिसमें वो अपने रिश्तेदारों से या अपने फ्रेंड से या अपने में कुछ सोच सकें या कुछ देख सकें। वो मी टाइम तो बिल्कुल खत्म हो गया, क्योंकि जब आप घर में हैं तो आपको वर्क भी करना है और घर का भी काम इतना करना है जो पहले मी टाइम मिलता था। तो वो किस तरह आपने लिया और कैसे उस चैलेंज कैसे सहा, क्योंकि आजकल आप पे मी टाइम उस वक्त नहीं था जब लॉकडाउन चल रहा था।
सर मी टाइम तो बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट था, लेकिन अपने लिए मैं बिल्कुल टाइम नहीं निकाल पाई। स्कूल आवर्स, ऑनलाइन क्लासेस के बाद हमें असाइनमेंट्स रेडी करने पड़ते थे बच्चों के लिए। उसमें बच्चों के लिए वीडियो भी प्रिपेयर करिए, सर्च करिए गूगल पे, यूट्यूब पे वीडियोस जो बच्चों को हमें सेंड करने होते थे एट एनी टाइम, कि आप सेंड करिए बच्चों के लिए, गुड मैनर्स के वीडियो सेंड करिए। तो मी टाइम में लिए तो मुझे कुछ टाइम ही नहीं मिलता कि मैं अपने पर्सनली हॉबीज कुछ कर सकूं। जैसे मुझे कुकिंग बहुत पसंद है, कुकिंग मैं करना चाहती थी, बट इस टाइम में कुकिंग जस्ट फॉर सेक कि पेट भरना है और कुछ नहीं करना है, क्योंकि बाकी काम स्कूल से रिलेटेड, ऑनलाइन क्लासेस से रिलेटेड इतने ज्यादा होते थे कि जो चीज हमें ऑनलाइन, वो ऑनलाइन की वजह बाद हमें ऑन पेपर भी मुझे शो करके स्कूल में सबमिट करने होते थे। तो बस खाना, ब्रेकफास्ट, लंच, डिनर, नथिंग एल्स। टू हॉबी को मैं अपने आप को कुछ इनहेंस कर पाती या कुछ नई चीजें कर पाती, तो वो चीजें नहीं हो पाई सर।
Okay.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you very much, Neetaji, for giving your views. Now, Advocate Rashi, my question to you is, in this pandemic, according to you, the joint family versus nuclear family. Some says joint family was a boon because due to the joint family, everyone was close, coming very close, and they were taking care of the children and whatnot. And some says nuclear family was good because no responsibility of the elders, the in-laws or the parents, and they less work and more because in joint family, lots of demanding families, as Miss Preeti says that for last 30 years now we have changed our mind setup. Now we are talking, but earlier nobody wants to work. Everybody is sitting, as Dr. Rajiv says, samosa, bhajia, and if those who are sitting, especially the older generation sitting ideally, they have no work, drinking tea and coffee and asking for lots of things. So what is your opinion in this pandemic? You prefer your views about the joint family and nuclear family, according to which family is better during the pandemic?
Sir, if you take my views on that, see, personally, I belong to a joint family, and I'm not saying this to be politically correct, but genuinely speaking, as far as my experience went, because I belong to a very, very, very cooperative family. For me, joint family was a boon during this time because my in-laws used to take care of a lot of, especially my daughter when I was working and taking classes. And my mother-in-law used to cook in fact, she had the responsibility of the kitchen when I was working apart the other things. As you said, there were elders in the family, so of course when my husband was helping me in cleaning, she was definitely objecting to it because she was not used to saying that. But probably maybe I don't know ultimately it will happen or not, but maybe she might accept the fact that yes, the lady has a lot of work to do, so the man also should help her in household work or other works as well. I know a few people who belong to nuclear families who said that thank God we didn't have our in-laws with us, else it would have been even worse. But honestly, I don't agree with that. Only because I know that it was a tough time for everybody, and in fact, I don't think in present times any in-laws would be such that they would really lay all the work on the poor lady of the house, and they would sit and have a cup of tea, only ordering as if she's a domestic worker or something like that. I don't think so. Everybody was working, everybody was helping their own respective parts. So I think that probably joint family, especially in this time, was a boon. Also because it helped in bonding of the grandchildren and the grandparents a lot, which is very much important to have in these times. So I would definitely go for a joint family, and I'm not saying this to be politically correct.
Yeah. But and especially your in-laws knows that you are a advocate and you are going to do the PhD, so they have to take care because Supreme Court recently passed an order. You might be aware about that. So thank you very much,
Thank you,
Miss
sir.
Advocate Rashi. Now, Miss Priyanka, are you there? Miss Priyanka? I think she's not there. Miss Priyanka, are you there? If you are there, please switch on your video.
I am
Okay.
here, but I suddenly had to leave my office and I'm going to catch a cab, but I can answer your question.
No, but we can't see you. You have to switch on your video, then only we can answer because it's a live telecast.
Okay, can you see me now?
No, sorry, we can't see you. You are like India right now. So until we will not see you.
I've opened my video.
Yeah, please open your video. Then only I will be asking you a question because the time is very less, 30 seconds only. If you can just reply. No, I think you are not there. You are trying, but you are not there. Anyway, so
I have opened my video. Can you see me now?
no, we can't see you. Anyway, so
Probably some signal problem.
okay, just tell me one only this thing that you say
Yeah.
that you are doing this online work from the home because your Domino pizzas and everything. Have
Yes.
you have you experienced any resistance leading when you are leading work when you are leading leading workforce from home vis-a-vis when you are doing it from office? Just a 10-second answer because we can't see you.
Sure. 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 So I mean, yes, it was very different as compared to
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Priyanka. We can't see you, so my studio says no, it is not possible. Thank you very much. So today you have seen the challenges faced by the working women, and it's not it's around everyone has faced lots of challenges. But the brighter side is out of these challenges, they have learned, they have got knowledge how to handle it. And as Dr. Rajivan has mentioned, whatsoever types of new virus, let them come. Now we all are ready to face it. And that is a very, very positive thing because this 2020 has everybody faced lots of challenges, but it has also given lots of opportunities to learn many new things. And it has also changed the family values, the moral values, as well as the new teachings for the new generation. I am today's program, which has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, as well as it was shown live on uh, Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day a new topic. And tomorrow, our topic is a very special topic, media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. COVID vaccine, yes, no, yes. Again, I am repeating the topic, COVID vaccine, yes, no, yes, because there is a lot of dilemma whether we should go for vaccination or not. And the panelists are Dr. Ramen Goel, FRCS MS, President, Indian Association of Gastrointestinal Endosurgeons from Mumbai, Professor Nujat Hussain, Dean, Professor and Head of the Pathology, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia, Institute of Medical Science, Lucknow, Dr. Nishi Singh, Consultant Medical Microbiologist, Conceived Gynecology and Fertility Hospital, UAE, Professor Virology and Infectious Disease, College of Medicine, Khalifa University, UAE, as well as Dr. Om Srivastav, Director, Infectious Disease, Jaslok Hospital, Member, COVID Task Force, Government of Maharashtra. So please tune in tomorrow for a very special program on COVID vaccine, yes, no, and yes, with media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajivanan. Thank you very much, Ms. Preeti. Thank you very much, Ms. Neeta. Thank you very much, Ms. Advocate Rashi. And thank you very much, Ms. Priyanka, for giving your views. And thank you all the viewers for joining us and listening the very enlightening